Hey everybody, it's Chad and welcome back to my channel, Fishing with CDH. Obviously we're not fishing today, but I wanted to make a little video and show you about my boat and some of the changes I've made this year to some things that I wasn't real happy with, and I think I've made some big improvements on it, and I hope things are going to work out. Also, there may be a lot of people out there that are interested in a boat like this that may want to see more about the boat. You know, some of the options that you have for things you can do with the boat. I've had it for 4 years now, so I think I can give a pretty honest review of what it's capable of, some of its pros, some of its cons. So anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Alright, we're in Georgia and it's about 96 degrees today. It's July the 5th. So I tried to pull this thing down in some shade. I hope the lighting will be okay to show you around the boat a little bit. I think what we'll do before we start on any of the features and all, maybe we'll start with the trailer. Like I said, this is everything is a 2021. The trailer, motor, boat, everything. Some of the things that I've done to the trailer, if you look under here, you see I added that roller right there, and that's a 3.5 inch by 8 inch roller, and I don't see how you could be without it with this trailer if you buy one of these boats, because when you come in on a sharp ramp, that keel will hit that bar right there. So I added that, and I had never had any problems. When I first started looking at these boats, there was a guy, I don't even know who he was, he had a video out and he mentioned that, and and that's a must-have on these trailers here, because your keel will hit on a steep ramp. Another thing that I've done is I changed out just recently, put some new tires and wheels on it, spruce it up a little bit. It looks a lot better, a little more snazzy looking than the plain Jane. I used the one of the old wheels that came on it as my spare there, and these little rubber things, that's just something I added, because I always, when I'm launching her, I'll step up on that spare there, and I slipped one day and that bolt tore my foot up, so I added that so that don't happen anymore. But moving on back, the other thing I added on the trailer is these guides right here, and that's a must-have. This is just a very light boat, and I mean it is just a bear to try to put on the trailer with any kind of wind if you don't have that. I mean that's a must-have on day one. But that's it. That's pretty much it as far as the trailer. It's been good. It's been solid. No issues, you know, at all with the trailer. All right, now one thing that I put on this year is this 80-pound 24-volt Minn Kota Terrova. When I first bought the boat, I had a 12-volt Terrova, and it did fine fishing around the lakes in Georgia and whatnot. But as I've been moved up into, you know, fishing in Tennessee, in the Tennessee River, around those dams and then that current, that 12-volt just wasn't doing it. So I upgraded to this motor here. Only tried it one time. Did great. It's considerably stronger, I can tell already. The 12-volt would push this boat right at 1.92 miles an hour max. This one will push it 3.3, 3.4. So it's quite a considerable difference in the power, I can tell already. It does have the this one has the chirp, the Humminbird chirp transducer in it, and I've got that hooked up to the my sonar here, and it does works good. But we'll talk a little more about that, you know, shortly. My remote setup, we got here, I got two remotes. I got the main remote, and then I got my little key fob, I guess you'd call it. And I like to use that little key fob around the dams when I'm fishing for bait or whatnot. Works good. And what I have done, I don't like just the lanyard that goes around your neck, so I got a strap. It's made for binoculars. I'm sure any of you that hunt know, you know, you put your binoculars on the back strap and it holds it up tight to your chest. Well, it does the same thing with this remote control. And it, you know, when you bend over, it's not swinging out and banging up against everything. It's up tight on your chest. It works great. And then I fixed it up where, you know, when I change, I can take the main off and just pop my key fob on like that, and, you know, switch back and forth on my remotes. I only use the main remote usually when I'm out dragging or drifting or something like that, or making a track or something like that. But anyway, that's it as far as the trolling motor. Now, one additional thing that I added on this motor I didn't have on the 12 volt that I had before, and is this little stabilizer right here. And this thing is it's great. It keeps this motor rock solid. You know, without it, these Torollas just bounce and vibrate all over everywhere. So this is it's been a good addition. I'm pretty happy with that. Just want to show you that. And next I'm gonna talk a little bit about the Bimini top that I added. I'm gonna get it set up, and I'll bring you back and we'll check it out. Alright, so there it is with the Bimini up. Works pretty good. The only thing about it is I can't quite stand up under it. I wish I could, but I just it's just a little too low. But, you know, at least I can sit on something, at least get out of the rain, out of the sun a little bit. It's better than nothing. I'm pretty happy with it. The one that's a little taller was a 4-bow, and it's 8 foot long, the only one I could find. And that's just be too long for this bow. This is a 6 foot, and I couldn't ask for it to fit any better. You know, when it folds down, it comes down right between the head of that trolling motor and that front compartment, and it doesn't get in the way of the functionality of either one. So it turned out really good, and I just added that a couple of weeks ago, so I'm excited to try that coming up soon. Alright, so next we're going to go back and we're going to talk about the rod holders. The next thing that I added this year, big change over what I had. Alright, so I just added these multibars. This is how, the way you see the rods here, this is how I plan on transporting them when I'm up and down the river or the lake or whatever. Just to get them out of the floor, get them, you know, get them out of my way. And what you see on them, these strings, it's just some homemade rod keepers I made, and all it is, on each end I've got a little hangman's noose, and I just cinch it up and tie it around that rod like that, just so I don't lose another one. And I say another one because last year below the dam at Nickajack in Tennessee, I had a brand new bumping rod pop out in that rough water and gone. I mean brand new, never even caught a fish on it. $200 bill right through the bottom of the river. So that ain't happening again. So I made these up, and I think they look pretty good, and I think they're gonna work great. Keep my rods where they're supposed to be. And we got over here this one, and I got this one here. I'll run a suspended rod or something maybe with that. I got a couple more of those I may add along the side there. I don't know, I may just go with that one. And so that's it for my rod holders. Alright, so this deck extension back here, I made that at home. Just a piece of plywood and some angle iron, and this is not marine grade plywood or anything like that. It's just what I had laying around the house. I've been saying for 4 years that I was going to get me a sheet of MDO and make a, you know, something that would be weatherproof, but at this point this thing here's got well over a dozen coats of paint on it, so it's pretty doggone weatherproof. And but it does good, it does great. I wouldn't leave it outside for a month, but if you get caught in a monsoon, it's gonna be just fine, so I just leave it alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So that's been working good. But again, that's homemade, you know, because if you buy one of these boats, that's just a wide open hole back there, you know, where your gas tank and your cranking battery. And when I go to the river, especially Tennessee River, I carry 2 extra gallons of gas stuffed up under there in a little can, and my jump pack in case I got a dead battery and stuff like that, all up under there, and my lights. So that's worked out real good. But again, that's homemade. You see all my stickers I got stuck on the back of it, but transducer obviously. And come on up to the sonars that I use. This is a Garmin 106 SV, and I usually, when I'm just catfishing, run it here on the console. And up front I've got a 93 SV, and I've got a network cable run between the two of them, so I can see the same thing on both screens. I mean, that includes if I'm looking at the transducer off of the trolling motor or whatever, they're networked together, so I can, you know, see the same thing. Also, this boat is set up for Livescope, and I'll set that up. I got all that situated where I can just take it completely out of the boat when I'm not using it, but I'll set it up and kind of show you what I got going on with that. But when I'm live scoping, I move that 106 up front and then put the 93 SV on the console. Is the way I usually run them, but I'll set it up and show you what I got going on with that. Alright, so as far as the live scope, if you look there, there's the black box mounted right there. And what I'm going to do right now, I've just got everything powered on the 2 sonars, and the black box powered on a single 12 volt 20 amp hour lithium. But I'm probably going to get a second lithium and just to power the black box and separate them. But I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do on that yet. But here is the trolling motor battery I got. It's a 24 volt lifetime, and I'll show you from the other side. Down in there is that 12 volt right there. That powers the sonars only. That's the only thing it does. And then right here we got a 60 amp breaker for the trolling motor. And in this compartment over here, all I ever keep in here is my fishing tackle, and that's the only thing that ever goes up in here. That box in front of the console right there, I put a second plug in it so no water gets in it, and I use that to store life jackets and stuff like that. But anyway, getting to the live scope, this is my handle, and the way I got it set up, got these little rubber things here, and that's the way I transport it. And then I got these brackets here. I got one for each side. And then on the cable, I got this extension right here that wires to the black box. Now normally your transducer cable would wire straight to the black box, but I wanted to be able to take this thing in and out when I'm not using it. So I put this extension cable in, and then I hook my transducer cable to that, and I'm good to go. And then I just take it and put it in these brackets. Like I said, I got one for each side, so all I got to do is just drop it in on whichever side, just like so, and then you just spin it around, do your thing. Works great. Now this is a LBS 32. This is the older model, but it you know, it works great. And that's it for the live scope. Obviously you can see right there the extra plug that I put in it, so it's pretty well watertight for my life jackets and stuff like that. Alright, so there it is, all packed up, and this is the way I transport it going up and down the highway. Overall, what do I think about the boat? I think it's a great boat, well worth the money. If you want a good boat at a good price, I don't think you can hardly beat it. It's stable. I've had it in some pretty rough water up on the Tennessee River below the dams and stuff, and it's just done fine. You can tell it's well built. It don't flex. I know you've been in aluminum boats, John boats, or cheaper aluminum, but you can just feel the hull flex. Not in this one. It's rock solid. It wide open. You about 35 miles an hour is about all it'll do, which is plenty fast for me. I guess my only complaint is I wish I had more room in it. You know, wish I had the room of a bigger boat, but like I said earlier, 95% of the time it's just me, so it does fine. And I just really don't have any complaints, except I wish I had more room in it. Other than that, it's been a fantastic boat. The Mercury motor runs great. Right now it's got right at 100 hours on it. I just did the 100-hour service on it, and but I bet you that 12-volt trolling motor that I just took off, I bet it had 300 hours on it. I do a whole lot more fishing than riding. But anyway, this is it. If you got any questions, drop me a comment and I'll do my best to answer them. Oh, I was going to say on the multi-bars, like I said, I just put them on this year. Before, I just had the monster rod holder corner bracket, so you can see where I had them mounted. I made that plate to cover the holes up, but they were just short. They were only about a foot tall, and right on the corner, and you had to bend way over and try to get those rods out with those big cats, and that was just not a good thing. So I went with these. I made up these plates here, and that is now a permanent fixture of the boat that the rod holders mount to. It's not going anywhere. I made those up because it right there, that's only about a 1/16 inch aluminum on that little back plate right there. So I wouldn't recommend mounting any rod holders just to that for these big cats. So I beefed that up, and that whole corner's coming out of the boat before that plate comes loose, I can promise you. But I'm excited about trying the multi-bars. I went with the light version. As you can see, they're machined out to cut the weight down, and got the 2 rod holders. We'll do some vertical transport, and I'm excited about giving them a try. But yeah, any questions, please drop me a comment, and I'll do my best to answer them for you if you're in the market looking at buying one of these boats. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright, I love catfishing, but I also love crappie fishing. So I got up front, I got the Millennium Spider Lock rod holders. They come out, a couple of knobs right off the bracket. They come right out of the boat, go right in the boat. But use them spider rigging, fishing minnows, whatever. Just wanted to show that.